It's showtime! Whoa! Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Alan Chamo. I'm so happy to have you here with me. This is great. Can everybody hear me? Go like this if you can hear me. Oh, this is awesome, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me in the first happy hour. I'm transmitting here from Miami, and that was Ryan Ahern live from Las Vegas. Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Alan. Thank you very much. Hello from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm so happy to have you here, Ryan. We're going to hear much more of you today in this happy hour. In every happy hour, you know, we are really lucky to have you. Ryan is a major pianist. He performs all over the world. He's actually famous in Asia, and you know, you're famous in Vietnam as well.
Yeah, I have these two PBS specials on the air here in the States, and then they've taken all that video and edited them into different versions, and now they're playing all over Vietnam and Singapore and Asia. Yeah.
This is great. This is great. Well, looking forward, we're going to have much more. Somebody is not muted over there, so let's make sure that we keep it quiet. There you go. All right. Perfect. Let's get it going. Ryan, you're going to come back later, all right? We're going to chit-chat more about the show, about what we're going to do, what's the whole idea here. And, you know, I'm so really lucky to have you, because when I was planning this, suddenly, it was the beginning of September, you sent me a text like, hey man, I'm ready. Because I contacted you back in April asking you, hey, are you doing any virtual stuff? And you were not ready back then. And yeah, suddenly I called you with my mind. It's like I'm a mentalist.
You are some kind of a mental hacker, that's for sure, yeah. Loud and clear. No, this is great. I'm really happy to be involved, and thank you again for putting this great show on for us.
Let's make it happen. So today is the first one. We're going to have lots of fun. And talking about mind hacker, so let's start with that. I need to hack into somebody's mind now. Please, I would love you to be on camera. This is audience participation show. This is why we do it on Zoom. So I would love to see your faces. Even if you don't have the best hair day, nobody's judging you here today. I don't have a great hair day today either. So go ahead and show yourself on camera. And let me see, I want somebody to assist me. Hey Barbara, hey, I can see everybody. I see you, Marty and David and Andrea. And let's see who will assist me on the first one. Somebody over there is in the hotel in the Western Wall. This is okay, so that was it wasn't real, it was just a fake background. These fake backgrounds. Catherine, would you assist me, please? Yes? I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. All right, there you go, you are muted.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm wonderful. If I'm looking to the side, it's because I have another monitor here, so I can look at you over there. And let me just switch cameras here. There you go. Oh, we see you beautiful there. God, don't. Where are you joining from?
This is Natalie, actually. I'm using Catherine's account. This is from the Palms at Weston.
Oh, hello, welcome.
How are you?
Okay, so it's Catherine?
Natalie.
Natalie, okay, yes. All right, Natalie, perfect, good memory. All right, Natalie, we did not meet before, is that right?
Correct.
Okay,
First
so
time we
we
see each other.
first time we see each other, so we did not plan this ahead of time, otherwise everything I do here makes no sense, all right?
Okay.
So do me a favor, I want you to imagine you have a deck of cards in front of you. Can you do that for me?
I can actually get one really quick. I have it right here.
Oh, sure, all right, get one.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Let me
go ahead. Take your time, just hurry up. It's not like we're in the middle of a show or something, you know? But hey, this is a live show, the thing's happening, so
Right here, right
you're
here.
at home, you have the deck of cards. Okay, pull it out and show us the deck of cards and give it a little mix, a little
Oh
shuffle.
no, actually I thought there were cards, but they're not, so forget it. I'll imagine.
Okay, now everybody now is for sure, is 100% sure that this was not planned ahead and we did not waste all this time on this. All right,
Okay.
so just imagine you have a deck of cards in front of you and pull out one card. You got it?
Yes.
All right. I want you to say out loud, what is the card that you have?
Six
Now
of
everybody,
hearts.
which one?
6 of hearts.
Okay, that's not a common card. That's good because normally people say the ace or the king. So 6 of hearts, completely random. Do me a favor. Imagine that you're holding the card. Actually, hold the card like this between your fingers so we can see it. Very perfect. And when I count to 3, you're going to throw it against the camera. All right? Ready?
Okay.
Into the empty glass. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Good. That was amazing. Can you everybody see it over there? And what was the card? What was the card that you said?
6 de corazones. 6 of hearts.
6 of hearts right over
Oh my
here.
God!
Thank you so much. You are so amazing. Good mind over there, Natalie. This is awesome. All right. If you see something that you like, everybody, so go ahead. You can go like this, interact. This is audience participation. Yes, Andrea, wonderful. You can, on the bottom, there's some kind of an emoji. It's called reactions on the bottom of the screen. So you can put reactions, you can put applauses. You can write in the chat. We see the chat from time to time, if you like something. So go ahead and do that. It's all about interaction. Actually, Ryan, so we are, we here live, Hacking Minds in the happy hour. You know what would be really, really amazing for a happy hour? I cannot hear you. Oh, no. There you go. What would be the perfect thing for a happy hour?
Well, when you think happy hour, I would imagine that you would need something refreshing to drink there.
Ah, that's right.
Am I in line there with that?
Yeah, man, that's perfect. Let's get a drink. Anybody here has a drink? Well, if you don't have a drink, now it's going to be your chance to learn how to do a new drink. And coming up, when you come back to the show, we put up what are the ingredients, and you can bring the ingredients and make it together with Team Mixology. So here we go.
Drink of the week brought to you by Team Mixology. Shake, rattle, and pour.
All right, Darnell, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right, brother. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we have Team Mixology in the house. It's going to show us some drinks here. So what are we making today?
Today we're going to be making a variation on the classic, a pomegranate gimlet.
Oh, it's perfect for Rosh Hashanah, pomegranate, Rosh Hashanah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Perfect fruit of choice and one of my personal favorites.
So let's get it going. Show us what
Hello,
we're
beautiful
doing.
humans. Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Darnell Hoagland. I'm based here out of New York City. Great to see everybody. I'm so happy to see we got some cameras on as well. I've been in the industry now for about 16 years. I've been involved in beverage for all sorts of different things. One of the most fun things I was able to do is participate in a global cocktail competition called Bacardi Legacy, representing the United States, placing top 16 in the globals. And that's some cool things. I got a beverage podcast called Azúcar y Limón, where we do some fun content in Spanish, Spanglish, and bad Spanish, but also some really cool things in English as well. It's given me a little bit of leeway to understand a bit about cocktails and what we're going to be enjoying today. A beautiful, refreshing classic. We're doing our own little spin on that. We're using the fruit of Rosh Hashanah, which is pomegranate, and honestly one of my personal favorite fruits as well. This cocktail is a cocktail called the Gimlet. The Gimlet itself is a classic cocktail that was created way back in the 1800s. It was when British Navy soldiers at that time were given rations of gin as well as lime to combat scurvy, pretty much a vitamin C deficiency. It was a big issue back in the day. And so they had to take lime with them onto these ships. And most of the times the way they would preserve them would be in sugar. So in that sugar, it'll just kind of create a nice little cordial, really super delicious, citrus forward. And a Navy surgeon by the name of Dr. Thomas Gimlet, who decided one day to take his ration of gin and his ration of lime cordial and combine the two, and thus was born the classic Gimlet cocktail that we're going to be enjoying today. So to get started with this, you just need a couple of things. We need a cocktail shaker. I have here what's called a Boston shaker. That means it's just like two different pieces. You normally have seen them like a glass goes on top of into this big boy. This is metal on metal because as you see, I'm in a cocktail bar. This is my cocktail bar here called Last Lap in New York City, and knock on wood, we're still standing. And so I was able to get some fun stuff. We make a lot of cocktails out here, so we need some durable tools. So to get started, you just need this. One of the shakers to get started, you may have like a different type of shaker, cobbler. Those are like with a lid and a little cap. That works just fine. Now, to make cocktails, usually we got to think about, the first thing we do is grab our glass, and we got our spirit next to us, and what we normally do, we're jumping in on ice, right? Today, we're going to unlearn that. Why? Because ice to a bartender is like fire to a chef. We want to make sure that how we introduce that ice is going to affect our cocktail the way we want it. Plus, unlike fire, ice melts. So it's going to melt if you put that in first. And then as you're putting in each ingredient, your ice will just start to melt and you get a little extra dilution that you're not really looking for in this cocktail. Another thing that we want to do is we want to start off cheapest ingredients first, okay? So why? Well, because if I put down some sugar and I put down some lime juice and I said, oh no, I put down too much lime juice, I could get rid of that. But if I start with my spirit and then I put down some sugar and I mess up my lime juice, I'm not gonna get rid of that. That's alcohol abuse. And I don't think we're those kind of people, right guys? Like, so we wanna make sure that we take care of our spirits and our cocktail and balance it out the way we want it. So we start with the cheapest ingredients first. So what you need to measure, this is a funky tool called the jigger. It measures 2 ounces to 1. This is a Japanese style jigger. Now we don't all have these at home, and that's okay. You could just go ahead and use a shot glass. A shot glass measures about 2 ounces. So if you think about ratios, half of that is 1, and then half of that is half. So you can play around with making your cocktails. I always encourage that you use fresh ingredients. It's always going to make for a much more refreshing and tasty cocktail. So to build it, let's get going. We're going to start off with a honey syrup. Why are we making it a honey syrup? See that it's a little bit more watered down. Honey has a lot of sugar in there and a high sugar content. So not that it has a lot of sugar, but rather some good sugars and a higher content, so it doesn't dilute well in cold liquid. So we want to put a little water in there to dilute it, make it a little easier. Just do 1-to-1 with the honey, or if you really like honey flavor like I do, I sometimes do about 3 parts of honey to 1 part of water. Super easy, makes for a great cocktail. And we're just going to measure 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup into our shaker. All right. Next up, we want to squeeze some fresh lime juice because this is a key component in a classic Gimlet. We want to go ahead and put 3/4 of an ounce of that in there. And next, we're going to go ahead and use our fruit, pomegranate. We're going to do 1 ounce of that. This is a nice, big, juicy, refreshing cocktail. It's going to have wonderful fruit, some nice acidity, great little balance of honey. Now, like the honey, what's really cool about it, or even like when you put sugar in a cocktail, it's not just to balance out the sour. It also kind of creates texture, mouthfeel. It like coats your palate and you start to pick up all these other little flavors. It's so good. So what we're going to use up here, you can use vodka or gin. It has evolved, but I'm going to use classic gin. Gin, fun fact, is the world's first flavored vodka. It is one of those the only spirit really that starts off as a neutral grain, and then it's later infused with the key component, juniper, and redistilled, as opposed to like whiskey, where we know could come from corn or barley, rum, when we know could come from sugar. So for that, what I did here is just a measure of 1 shot of gin in there. I love gin for this cocktail because it's just super aromatic. It fits really nicely with the fruits and the pomegranate in there. It's super beautiful and refreshing. So next up,
For those that are not into gin, any replacement?
absolutely. Vodka works just nicely. A personal favorite would be tequila. This could work nicely with that right there. I actually like rum very much. If you get a nice, clean, crisp rum, works beautiful with that too.
All right.
These are some great flavors that like blend nicely. That's the best part about this drink too, is that if you wanted to enjoy this as a mocktail, for example, still be a fun happy hour, you know, you can actually just up the juice a little bit, and it has a nice little balance of sour and sweet and fruit. And then from there, it's interchangeable. Have a blast. Cocktails itself is meant to be for fun, and everything comes from something, right? So we want to taste it. That's gonna be so good. So you can even have fun and start to even put herbs in there as well. Put a little ice into our shaker. We're gonna give it a little shake. Now, if you have a three-piece cobbler like the one I mentioned, you want to go ahead and put the lid first without the cap, and then the cap. Reason is because there'll be a little air that'll shoot up, and then when you put the cap on, you can seal it. Try not to press it down too much because the metal's going to go ahead and get cold. So we want to make sure it stays sealed but not stuck when you finish up. I have a two-piece, so in order for me to know that I did this right, I have to give it a proper seal, it's a nice slam down, and I know that it works. We're gonna try to be like Alan, you know, he's like, do a little magic. Let's see if I could get this up. All right, we got a good seal going. So that's gonna.
There you go.
Sure
Do your
that
magic,
it doesn't.
man.
Yeah, see, it's not gonna spill out now, so it should work out. So to shake, super easy process. I know you've seen a lot of fancy shakes out there. You have to remember, we're making a lot of cocktails. Tennis elbow's a real thing. So we want to. It really is honestly super simple though when making cocktails at home. What you want to the point is to make contact from end to end with the ice. You want air to kind of get pumped into it, kind of like a egg beater inside of a protein shake or something. And the ice is going to do that for us, give us a nice little frothy, refreshing texture. And then you want to put the tin horizontally with the little cap facing you or the glass facing you. And then it's a back and forth motion. If you're righty, left hand in the bottom, right hand up top to keep it sealed. And then there's one more important step when you do a shake. I promise that this will actually affect the cocktail. So this is one of the things that we all consider, is that you want to put on your best smile when you put on a shake. Because if you're not putting on your best smile, I promise you're going to end up with a pretty bitter, pretty not so yummy cocktail, all right? So let's give this a nice hard shake. Get it nice and cold. Start to feel the shaker get cold in your hands. You can feel the ice kind of get whiter. It stops being big teeth, get a little more slushy. Feel the next couple shakes, nice and cold. You can even see a little frost, hopefully, and a little smile right there. Trying to do the best I could do. So, give it a little shake. Nice little frothy texture. I'm gonna get a stemmed glass. I got a nice little wine glass here. The stem glass is always a prefer for this because ice wasn't necessarily ever offered when this cocktail was made. But when it's nice and cold, you don't want it to warm up or get too diluted. So we do stem, so we can hold it and keep our heat away from it. You can just strain it straight up there. I'm gonna keep it just like that so I can keep some of this nice, beautiful color. Love. See the nice little bubbles on the top? That's from the aeration. Gives a nice little texture to it. And then we do have to make this cocktail a little bit more complete, make it look nice. You have a couple of options. I start off with a nice little lime wheel. And then what I'm gonna do with this lime wheel is that I could cut it from the center outward, and that'll create a nice little slit. Or I could choose to, depending on, you got a nice wide mouth in the glass, you could flag that right on there and make it nice and pretty.
Beautiful. Beautiful. L'chaim. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Team Mixology that brought you this amazing drink, and to Team Bonding that is sponsoring this segment. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and by the way, if you are doing these happy hours and you're doing it virtually.
Yes,
so
stay tuned for next week, guys, for sure. Next week is going to be fantastic. You guys are going to be enjoying a different cocktail here, another classic variation. It's one of my favorites, a Tommy's Margarita, a nice little twist on a classic margarita where it substitutes the triple sec with some agave honey. Love that agave.
Great, this is great. Hey, and if you guys want to hire Darnell and Team Mixology, you can do it through teambonding.com, our sponsor. Thank you so much. And we're continuing up here. Ryan, I know we have every week we have a guest that is going to join us. And there's so much talent out there. And one of the main reasons that I'm doing all this is to connect people while we are physically apart. And live entertainment continues, even though you cannot go, on real theater. Which, by the way, you are in a real theater right now, no?
Yeah, I'm here at my rehearsal facility here in Vegas, and it is a proper theater. It's not a huge showroom or anything, but it's a nice place for sure.
Yeah, so today we have a very, very special guest. I know him very well. I actually had the chance to spend with him a week on a cruise, on NCL cruise, okay. and he is originally a violinist, a classical violinist. Now you probably know better than me. Piano and violin, these are very tough instruments, and you need to practice a lot. How many hours a day did you practice when you were a kid?
Well, when I was a kid, when I started out, as an absolute beginner, it's pretty hard to do a lot of time, more than 30 or 40 minutes a day. But within a year, I was doing 3 hours a day, and then probably a year or two later, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to play 6 or 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
If there was a competition coming up, I would probably do 8 or 9. There's only so much you can handle in a day anyhow.
Exactly. So
that's
most classical violinists that I know, they practice for about 8 hours a day, and this guy played in the best conservatoriums in the world, classical violin, and I could tell you so many places where he played, but I won't. You know why? Because I honestly don't care. Because this guy is not here because of his violin. This guy is here because he's funny. Can you imagine that? After all these years...
You care at all there, Alan?
Exactly. After all these years practicing violin, he decides to be a stand-up comedian. What a chutzpah! What a chutzpah to be a stand-up comedian.
That's right. Okay.
And let me tell you, I have so much respect to stand-up comedians, because this is really the hardest thing in the world, to stand on stage only with the microphone and make people laugh.
Oh yeah,
and
it's an art form.
It is. And it's hard as is, and it's even harder to do it on Zoom when you don't have the feedback.
Yeah.
No, because we need the feedback. We need to hear people scream and laugh. That's how we get it.
Oh yeah, you
so
feel that energy, sure, especially with comedy.
Exactly. So imagine you telling jokes, you're doing all your set at home, to a camera and your computer, and you don't hear anybody back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to ask some of you to unmute. So basically, if you see a pop-up that says ask to unmute, so unmute yourself. Just make sure that you don't make noises. If you are right now in the middle of a fight with your husband, it's probably not a good time for you to unmute, okay? We're going to monitor the noise, but we want to hear some laughs, okay? Ryan, if something is funny, you can laugh. And just a disclaimer, comedians, and I know that this guy is super funny. That's why I brought him for the first one. But whatever is funny for me, it's not always funny for you. But still, show him love. If you see something funny, he can see you go like this, like crazy people, okay? And you can, on the bottom, do put on the chat, make some kind of a remark. We're already starting to unmute people. Actually, now I would like to show you something. Are you familiar with the Rubik's Cube?
Rubik's Cube, sure.
Yeah, everybody's familiar with the Rubik's Cube? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Anybody knows how to solve a Rubik's Cube?
Throw it in the garbage.
Throw it in the garbage? Okay, and that's how you solve it?
That's how I do it.
Yeah, and did you check if it's solved after that?
No.
All right, so I'm going to show you, a Rubik's Cube is something that is really complicated to solve, all right? It has so many combinations. Actually, anybody knows how many combinations you can create with only one cube? No, it's really complicated. I'll tell you, let me see if I can put it on the screen. Let me see here. This is the answer. It's 43 quintillion. It's so many numbers, okay? So today, I will try to solve this cube really, really fast. Now, do you know what is the world record in solving a cube? Nobody knows that? If you know, you can put it in the chat. I'm going to monitor the chat. Nope. Thank you, Armando. Amazing, Armando. Okay. Everything about Armando. What about me here? Okay, so it's Let me show you what is the world record. Is actually a little under 5 seconds. It became a sport, and it's a bunch of 16-year-old kids with no girlfriends trying to compete who can solve it the fastest. So let me show you what is the world record right now. Let me see if I can bring it up.
Come on, get a sub 5.
Whoa! That is amazing. So as I told you, it's a bunch of senior kids trying to compete and see who can solve it the fastest. So today, I will try to solve the cube very, very fast. Now, I cannot do it under 5 seconds. I have a life. But I will try to do it really, really quick. And I will need somebody here to help me out with this. Let me see who I can bring in here that's going to just, let me see here. Mike, you woke up. That's great. Welcome back. And we have Jill. Thank you for joining. And Joanne. And let me see. Andrea, how you doing, Andrea? Here, can you unmute yourself? All right. Hello. Okay. Thank you for joining, Andrea. Where are you joining from?
From Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Wonderful. Okay, Andrea. So I will try today to solve this cube really, really fast. And actually, the hardest thing about solving a cube is you have to remember all these algorithms, but also to do it really fast. So we're going to measure the time, okay? So I have here the timer. But you know what? I think that for you guys, it's not impressive, just one. So for the happy hour today, I will try to solve 2 cubes. You know what? Let's do 3. Let's do 4. 4 cubes. And here's the challenge, okay? It's not only solving 4 cubes, but I will first mix them up. Now, I cannot hand you the cube so you can examine it, but I will mix it up like this, and I will mix it up with my eyes closed. Now, if you think that I can remember where each color is, thank you. You definitely think very highly of me, but I'm not that good, all right? So here's how we're going to do. The moment I start the clock, I will mix them up. And then you, Andrea, when you say change, I drop this, grab the other one, and continue mixing them up. The idea is that after we are done with all of them and I stop the time, is that I will try to solve all 4 of them in less time than it took me to mix them up. All right? And Andrea, yeah?
How will I know when you're done mixing it up?
You decide. Okay. So I'm going to start mixing up, and you say change, and then I change. Then you say change, and then I change. And don't give me much time. It has to be under, do it between 30, 40 seconds, something like that. Don't give me much time. Don't be nice to me, okay? Are you ready? So you say next, 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 and the last one, stop. And I will do it with my eyes closed. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Let's start the clock. And
next.
Wow, that was quick.
Next.
Okay.
Next.
Okay.
Stop.
All right. And stop. All right. So what do we have here? 25 seconds and 18 milliseconds. 25 seconds and 18 milliseconds. Wow. So this is going to be a big challenge to solve it so fast. Actually, if I can be honest with you guys, I'm not sure I can solve it under 25 seconds, 4 cubes. But maybe let's do this. 25 seconds and 18 milliseconds. If we add them up, 25 plus 18, what's the result, Andrea? Do you know? 25 plus 18, anybody who's good with math?
43.
43, perfect, 43. If I do it in 43 seconds, would that be okay, acceptable for the happy hour? Yeah. I had a drink and all that. Is that okay? Give me a slack here. Come on, guys. 43. You know what? I wasn't completely honest with you. Actually, while I was shuffling, I wasn't really shuffling. I was actually solving. I was solving to something and I said that there's 43 quintillion possibilities, and I created a very unique 43 quintillion possibilities. And if you can see here, I would never know that you stopped me in 25 seconds and 18 milliseconds. And I created here a unique thing, and I don't know if you guys can see, but 43. This is when people go nuts normally. Yes, this is yes. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm gonna give myself an applaud here because thank you. There you go.
Yay!
Okay, all right. We made it happen. We made it happen. Thank you. 43, so cool. Well, I hope that now Ryan is coming up in a second. But before we bring Ryan. Wow, we already at 5:48. I was trying to do it under an hour. We're going to be here every week, okay? And with Ryan and other entertainers that are going to join us. Actually, next week, we have a very young magician. When I say young, I mean young. The guy is 11 and he's already doing shows for corporate events. So that's pretty amazing. So every week, check it out. You can register. It's completely free. A lot of people ask me, Alan, why are you doing this free? Why, you don't charge something? And honestly, the goal here is I want to connect people. This is the time when people need entertainment the most. So we have this technology. We have the option to do it. And I love doing what I do. And I'm so lucky and happy to be able to provide to my family doing entertainment, and even during this time still performing for companies. So I said, 1 hour a week we can put this together, and Ryan joined me with this, and I really appreciate Ryan as well. So thank you. The best thing you can do to support us is just come back, tell other people as well about this. If you want, you don't have to really, it's not necessarily, but if you want to show some love and support, at the end there's going to be like a website where you can do it, but it's really not necessarily. I really want you to come back and tell other people about this. Obviously, if you would like to hire any of us or the happy hour together for your party, you can reach us. You can also contact Armando Anto directly. And with all that said, Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah, that's great.
Let's play some music, Ryan. Are you ready? Are you there? You are muted, I think. Speak up, Ryan. Are you muted? You can say, yeah, you ready? Play. Let's hear it for Ryan. No, we cannot hear you, Ryan. We cannot hear you, Ryan. Ryan disappeared. Ryan. He can only hear himself. We cannot hear you, Ryan. No. Something happened there. I think you are muted. Oh, you know what? There you go. There you go. Let's start again. Let me do the presentation. Hey, people, this is part of this new entertainment, this new technology thing. So, are you ready now, Ryan?
Do you have me? Is everything?
Now I have you, because that's why I said, speak, because I couldn't hear you. You were saying something and I couldn't hear you. Now we're ready.
Go,
Let's
Ryan.
make it happen. Go, Ryan.
Okay, guys, you got it.
awesome, Ryan.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Anybody there?
Woo!
You're very kind. Thank you so much. We're going to play a couple more for you, right, Alan? We're doing a couple more. And I wanted to play a great song, something a little more contemporary for everyone out there. I know we got some youngsters in the audience here tonight. But there's a wonderful band out there called Maroon 5. And I know Maroon 5 is a very famous band. They had a very big hit several years ago with a song called This Love. And I just finished the arrangement, and I thought it'd be fun for you today on Happy Hour. So all you Maroon 5 fans out there, this one's for you.
Yay!
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah, a little Maroon 5 for you. You know, I want to play one of my favorite piano men. That's Ray Charles. Do we have any Ray Charles fans watching here today?
Yeah, we do, I'm sure.
So the first time I saw this song was in a movie called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And if you've seen that movie, you'll certainly remember this song where John Candy was trying to play the piano up on the dashboard of the car, and Steve Martin was sitting in the seat trying to sleep next to him. Well, they had a great 12-bar blues going on underneath that scene. It's called The Mess Around. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Where you can talk about the pig, barbecue, the band was jumping, the people too do the mess around. Yeah, the mess around. Yeah, do not mess around. Everybody do the mess around. Now everybody was juiced, you can bet your soul. They did the boogie with the steady roll and do the mess around. Yeah, the mess around. the mess around. Everybody do the mess around. Well, when I say stop, don't you move a bit. When I say go, you just shake your leg and do the mess around. Yeah, the mess around. Yeah, do the mess around. Everybody do the mess around. Here we go, guys. Everybody gonna have some fun doing the mess around. Yeah, the mess around. Yeah, doing the mess around. Everybody do the mess around. One more time. Now you see that girl with that diamond ring? She knows how to shake that thing, doing the mess around. I declare she can mess around. Yeah, doing the mess around. Everybody do the mess around. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll stop the here. All right. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it was great. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining. Did you have fun, Ryan?
I had a great time. This is so much fun. If you had any idea, I've never had this much fun in the afternoon. You know, this is over here in Las Vegas. We're just about 3 o'clock right now. So
Exactly. So
we're just getting
what's
started here in Vegas. You guys should all fly out.
that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, and I'll join you in the theater over there. But hey, we managed to make this happen. I'm so thankful for everybody that participates in this. There are people also backstage in different countries also trying to juggle all this around. So thank you for our production assistant, Maria Valentina, I'm sorry, and everybody here that joined us today. I'll see you next week, 5 p.m. Wednesday. Hit it, Ryan! Thank you, everybody.